Dick moves and dick pics? What? The fellas are headed to Nashville. Kathryn and Danni make up and we get invited to an artichoke dinner. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. It's ladies' night. I feel like I need a horn. Bum, 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 bum. Thank you. Thanks for that. There you go. Thanks, J-Lo, for that. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Southern Charm After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. Tonight's episode had a lot to deliver, and I am so excited to be chatting with, as well, my co-hosts tonight, starting with the lovely
Susan Pinckney. How are you doing?
I'm Cristal McLaughlin. Be sure to stay tuned because we're going to be also doing our not so charming moments later on in our top 3 moments of the evening.
Yes. We do have a lot of news coming up as well. And we have also, like you said, our not so charming segment. And I just totally had a brain fart because I feel like we do have more stuff to chat about after later on.
Yeah.
But as always, before we get started, we do have our live chat up. Susie has that. So if you want to join in, hop on the conversation. Let us know your thoughts for tonight's episode. There was a lot of talk about white trash. I feel like every 5 minutes the word or that phrase white trash came up. Overall thoughts on tonight's episode. Oh, by the way, Matt couldn't be with us tonight. We're so sad about that. We don't get an impersonation. We get another impersonation.
Actually do.
Madison! Madison! Somebody drink my beer.
That is Matt in spirit joining us right now. We feel him. That's his impersonation.
That's right.
So, Cristal, you're going to have to turn it up a notch today if you want to impersonate
That's right.
Austen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Overall thoughts? Yes.
I don't know, despicable, I guess, if that's what you want to say. I think that everybody's acting like a child in this episode.
What?
I think, like, Shep is acting kind of douchey. No, actually, not kind of. He's being douchey.
Yeah.
Craig, he's kind of being immature and allowing things to affect him, which he, I feel like, has grown from, or at least I thought he'd grown from it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of misbehavior, from a lot of parties, including Madison, and Kat, she eventually succumbs to, like, apologizing to Danni.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, it felt very high school to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Overall thoughts. Well, first of all, I just want to say hi to Red Sox Sarah, who's in with us and the live chatting. How you doing? And we also had a Holly Morgan, which I saw her comments, 2 big chunky comments that she said on the last episode. So I wanted to make sure that we said Holly Morgan's name because we read them and I couldn't agree with them, so I didn't like them. But I mean, we know that she's a big Shep fan, and today was kind of like Shep's episode, I felt like.
It was definitely a dig at Madison, and it was this revelation of Shep and how everyone thinks about him and his thoughts towards him, which is quite interesting to see this develop, as a lot of them, I felt like they were buddy-buddy. So it's definitely, it gets pretty intense. Let's start off talking about this guy's trip, right? This is where we pick up on the episode. They're headed out to Nashville, picking up all their garbage. Mystery solved where this driver got to sleep in a cabin somewhere. Because I was asking that last week. I'm like, where did the driver go? How come he couldn't join in on the fun? So that was really cool.
He's living the good life, girl.
Yeah, by himself, away from
the drunks.
Away from the drunks.
Was Austen the only one in a tent, it seemed like? No. Everyone else was...
I have no idea. I don't even know where Whitney stayed. Like, you couldn't even see
probably
him.
The cabin.
Right? True. So, we pick up right here at Nashville, and now we're headed up, and we're at this hotel. The guys are getting ready. Whitney is cleaning everything up. What were our expectations heading into Nashville night? Their night out.
I felt like they were going to party for sure. They were going to find some ladies and they were going to bring them over to their pad, which they did, but nothing really crazy went on. I mean, for the most part, the craziest thing that happened with Austen was revealing himself to people. I mean, not in that sense. That sounds wrong. Revealing his feelings towards Madison to some strangers, which I thought was really just inappropriate. And I felt bad for him, though. I wrote down lonely little pollo, which is because I thought, little chick, poor guy. He's just, I feel for him in a sense, but it's kind of pathetic in a way for me too, because I'm like, well, she treated you pretty badly, and you're still wanting to like talk about her. And yes, I get it, the guys weren't being there for him, but then again, when are guys ever supportive in general? They're not, so he should be used to that. And I think if he was in the reverse position, he would also be doing the same thing as the guys are. Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. It was uncomfortable to watch. I felt bad for the guy who he's talking to, and then the ladies. I think we're used to it. We're used to hearing women complain, so we're good at like exiting out of that.
Consoling you. Yeah. Saying, you know what, you need a shot. Let's get her a shot.
Right. But even those two ladies, they were like, okay, well, this has been fun. We'll talk to you later. I mean, you saw him following this guy, and this guy was walking ahead of him, outside of the bar. And he still followed him, and he wanted to continue this conversation, if that's what you want to call it. It was pretty sad. I don't know. What do you think, Susie?
I really thought Nashville was going to be when they would turn it up. Remember, like, the first seasons where they would have a good time and everybody was wild and crazy?
It's like a bunch of old farts, right?
Yeah, we didn't get that. We did not get that at all. So I wanted there to be more energy and, like, more excitement and have fun and party and for starting from the dinner, where of course they were just arguing. I was impressed with Whitney buying everybody's dinner, though. And that was nice. It just felt, it was boring. I mean, in the sense that, not boring to watch, because I enjoyed watching it, but I don't know if they could have accomplished what they wanted to accomplish with him on the trip, which was make him forget about Madison. Yeah. But I wouldn't have forgotten about her either. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just... They were just kind of going through the motions. And speaking of forgetting about Madison, those guys have no game. I was like, those girls, of course. I'm like, how in the world would you just say, yeah, let's go check out my room? And they're all like, yeah, I'm with it. Let's go.
But they did end up with them at the end of the night.
My hook. And then the girl was like, okay, here's my hook. And then, okay, you want to come over to my room? I have this really big penthouse in the city. Okay. Like, it's unrealistic. I don't know if this is what actually does happen, but it's just, I don't know.
It's called being inebriated. Like,
that girl was definitely drunk.
Oh, all of them were, So that all goes out the window when you have a few.
Yeah, and I think there was this division between Whitney and Shep and Austen and Craig, and you could see the young ones versus the older crowd, and it was, I don't know, I felt like they weren't being champs. When you go on a trip, you always look for those people around you. Like, you want to invite your fun friends. Yeah. You're like, oh, she's going to be the one buying shots all tonight. Yeah. She's going to be the one puking. Yeah. It's that fun.
Exactly.
But I feel like they don't have that.
No.
They're so into each other, their emotions, their actions, pointing each other's flaws.
It's like family almost. More than anything. Like, it feels like it's a family relationship. You know what I mean? Where you're pointing out things that people do or say or make you feel. It's like they're dating each other or something, maybe.
It's just so weird.
They're extremely critical of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was no room for fun under all the criticism.
Right.
And this is how guys get as well, because I've seen groups of guys, how they get so competitive with one another that they're just like, oh, I have a better job than you. Oh, I'm going to grad school. I'm doing, and I feel like that's with them, what they do with their actions. So it was interesting to see. I would have wanted to see more of this party that was held up until 5:30 in the morning.
I'm sure they had a problem getting all the releases and all that stuff with the drunk people. But
I don't care. Have them sign it. Or can't you have one of those signs in the front door before you enter? This is a filming area.
Don't show Madison. Don't show Madison.
Where was Austen during all this time? Did he hook up with someone? Did Whitney fall asleep earlier than everybody? Like, you just don't know.
They're holding out on us. That's all I kept thinking when I saw that video overhead that was really bad. It looked like a Nest camera. Yeah. I was like, really? This is what you're showing us, Bravo? Bravo, come on, show us the juicy details. I mean, obviously, Austen woke up looking like he was super hungover, so he must have done something dumb.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see it.
A little snippet, too, that we got was a picture, a sexy picture of Madison that she sent Austen of her going on a night out.
That cleavage is real, girl.
Girl, you got to show. If you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She had good text game, though. That's all she did. Send the picture and then had him thinking about his whole trip.
Right.
Does that work, ladies?
You know what? Here's the thing. It's genius. I agree with you. It's genius. And I love it, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to take this. I'm going to call it the Madison move.
What?
If there's a guy you're dating that you know that you broke up with and you know he's going out with his friends, send him a hot photo of yourself before he heads out. So then all he thinks about is you.
And what you're doing.
Right.
But what if he doesn't respond back?
Who cares? He has the visual there.
See, I'm like, why didn't you text me back? I need confirmation that you received.
No. You don't need the confirmation. That's why
just
what you do is
send
you do what I do. I keep my phone on read, like when it shows like you've read the text message. So I won't respond, but I'll look at it so they can see that I read it.
Oh, you let them see. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
That's how I know you read my text messages when I said.
Oh, yes, girl.
You also have some awesome words that you want to share with our audience.
I do.
Don't you?
Before we move on to the next topic, I just want to say here at AfterBuzz TV, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without you guys. If you are on YouTube right now, please subscribe. Please give us 5 stars in iTunes. Give us a thumbs up. Also, we are on Spotify. I mean, honestly, you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this without you viewers. So if you guys could share, if you could comment, if you could just tweet us, anything really, we would really appreciate all the love and support that you would offer us. And again, if you do shout us out, we will give you a shout out. So be sure that you show up in our live chat. Susie has it open right now. We really want to get the conversation going. And thank you for watching us. And this is the ESPN of TV Talk.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Do we have anyone in the live
Yes, we
chat?
sure do. Kimberly Mayfield is back. Hello, Kimberly.
Yes.
She said that she thinks Shep has a Peter Pan syndrome.
Oh.
Would have to agree.
All of them do, don't you think?
Red Sox Sarah says those boys are full of themselves. It's not even
true.
funny.
God.
Trying
Makes
to
me
one-up
wanna
each
drink.
other. That's true. And... oh, that's so funny. She said, did Shep think that he invented shaving that goatee? Which...
He was trying to be funny, I think, is what it was.
No,
These guys have no sense of style either.
Grandpa sweater, Shep's
cap.
grandpa sweater. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? No.
And it was Craig with that top, the flannel top. It was just I don't know.
Wait, apparently they don't need, I say they don't have game, they don't, but apparently they don't need it. If you can just walk out in a club and say, come see my room, and people come back to your room, then I guess you don't really need game anyway. Maybe that is their game.
Yeah, it's not LA, that's for sure. The guys out here, their clothing game is really up, not out there, apparently. It's like dad jeans and mom tops. I don't know.
The thing about it is, though, when Shep comes down, he always goes down to Venice, like the Venice Whaler, which is like surfing 101.
USA.
Yeah, surfing USA. And so they dress that same way. So he probably feels right at home.
Yeah.
It's a really fun spot to go
It kind of reminds me, I won't lie, it reminds me of like back home, like the Bay Area is very much like chill like that. You can literally go out anywhere. Yeah, area. And get away with that with no problem as long as you're not at a club like they were.
Exactly. A cutie on tonight's episode, again, is Matul.
Oh,
and him and Naomi's relationship. It just gets better, right? As we see them together. In the beginning, I was like, okay, I don't know how I really feel about them two together. I know he's really hot, but I wonder if she's over Craig 1,000%.
Right.
But the way that she was talking about him tonight made me really realize, like, okay, this girl's in love.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that they will last forever and that he feels the same way as she does?
Why are you smirking? What are you going to say?
You don't?
I don't.
No.
And I love Naomi. I don't know if I've ever made that clear or not. I do. I love her.
Okay.
The moment that I felt like Naomi stepped into her own was whenever that, I think she was wearing her Pulp Fiction outfit. It was like a couple seasons ago.
Love it.
That was her moment for me where she laid into somebody because it was the girl from Vanderpump Rules.
Right.
Yes.
So anyway, so that was when I like, ooh, Naomi, we need to take notice of her. And I want whatever she wants, of course. I want her to be happy. Mm-hmm. I don't see it. I don't.
Don't you feel like she's pushing too hard?
Absolutely.
Like,
she's working.
fake.
She's working too hard.
Right.
And that's when you're the woman, you be the woman and he works.
Yeah.
He has to work and earn and, you know, and to make it happen. That's what they want to do. They're hunters.
She's too much into him, and not to say that he might not be into her, but she's like, you saw her in an interview. She was like, oh my God, I can't even talk about him. I'm like turning red, I'm hot. Like, okay, we get it, girlfriend. Calm down. Take it down a couple notches. If dude knows your game, like at the end of the day, like he's not gonna close the deal. I mean, that's just how it goes. It's just like that. I know I'm going off topic a little bit, but married at first sight, that's usually what happens. Those people get married right there. They seal the deal. They sleep with these men, and then these men lose interest. Like nobody wants that. No dude wants that. You have to get them playing the game a little bit, and she's playing house too quickly. I don't like it.
Oh, you know what? That's a great point. She is playing house. But I think that I see it and I feel it, that he feels the same way towards her and he kind of has her on check.
He does. That's the thing.
That's his way of showing his emotion and that he cares. And I feel like they have really great chemistry together. Do I think that they're going to last? I actually do think that they will.
Oh, that's good.
And I think that she's probably going to end up marrying him. But the crazy thing is when I see Craig joining into the picture and when I see them at outings all together,
right,
that's where I'm like, oh, I miss both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
As crazy and chaotic as they were for each other, I kind of miss that couple.
Of course. And it was just different. You see how Naomi was with him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not buying it. I don't think that she's not into Matul. Okay. I just feel like, that Matul's not into her. I don't believe that that's the case. I think they very much are attracted to each other. But do I think that they're going to get along mentally? I don't know. If there's going to be enough of a challenge there for Matul. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, we'll definitely have to wait and see how this develops.
Yeah. And again, I want whatever she wants. So, if she wants that to be her forever, I want that to be her forever too. Right. I just want her to kind of...
Yeah. I think I'd like to see her a little more authentic to herself. The way she was with Craig. You know what I mean? Like, we got to see the good and the bad. I want to see a little of that with Matul. And I don't know if she's holding back because he's like, look, I don't want to be on TV. I mean, we don't know the conversations that's happening behind the door, but...
Yeah.
Let's see something, a little more drama.
Well, we definitely got to see a little more of someone's wee-wee.
Yes.
During Patricia's artichoke dinner. This was actually a very fun part. It was filled with so much good content.
Oh my God.
I feel like this all was held together while the ladies were sitting down on the couch. We started off talking first about Madison and Danni.
Madison!
Yes.
Madison!
That
was pretty good.
Which, by the way, Madison's title, as soon as she was walking into Patricia's doors, was Austen's ex-girlfriend plus Patricia's stylist. It was this
a little bit of shade, too? Yeah, I feel like that was a little bit of shade, because she could have just been Austen's ex or Patricia's friend or whatever, but it was still hairstylist, you know what I mean?
It was so much shade, and I loved it. I mean... I saw that and I was like, oh, that's a little dig, but I'm loving this because I noticed it. So then she walks in, right? And Patricia looks lovely. She looked divine.
She did.
As always.
As always. The food, my mouth was watering as the chef was cutting up the pasta. I'm like, that's fresh pasta.
Yes. I don't know how to do the artichoke though, and so I think I would have been uncomfortable like the rest of them.
Oh no, I totally know how to eat artichoke.
You do?
Oh yes. I went to many dinners. You forget I used to be a caregiver for elderly people, so a lot of older Caucasian country club type of folk. Okay. And so I went to a lot of these sit-down dinners, and I've had my share.
Yeah, so you're ready. If Patricia says,
ready.
Come
Patricia,
over,
where's my fork and knife? Actually, I don't even need it. Just my two hands, baby.
And it was such a great little insider that we got too, because as everyone started rolling in, the ladies started sitting down, and the first thing we were hit by was Madison and Danni. So Madison brings up this whole situation and her problem with Danni, and Naomi is literally right in the middle, hearing everything. I actually liked how Madison was just so straightforward, and she just told Danni exactly what was up. But then we got to see a little side of Danni that I'm like,
She's
this
a
makes it seem like
peacemaker.
this makes it seem like she actually I don't know, maybe started all of this on purpose?
But she didn't do anything wrong. And I feel like Danny's a peacemaker and she was at Patricia's house. Hopefully she'll address it again outside of Patricia's house, like not at a dinner party. But it was not right the way that she took responsibility for her and her friend's actions.
Right.
So at the very least, let's say Madison had nothing to do with it. And let's say her friend was like, okay, I'm going to send this picture of you to... So then it's still your friend that you need to be mad at and not Danny. Danny did what any person who has people that she loves involved would do. And I didn't like how she took responsibility for it.
I didn't like that at all. That really ticked me off. I just felt like she felt bullied and kind of cowered down, and that's so not like Danny, and I didn't like that. So it made me feel like, well, what's happening here that you're not saying? I don't know. I mean, because what we got, from Gentry when he sent us the DM, we got to see everything. So, I mean, what Danny was saying as far as watching the show and seeing what we saw is correct. So why is she cowering to Madison? I get that it caused a lot of problems, but that's not her problem. That's her man. So, but I get what Madison's coming from too, because it's like, seems like a girl's girl, right? Because she went and showed Chelsea the stuff that Austen had said about her and so on and so forth. But I don't know. It's kind of like a tough situation, because we don't know everything. I mean, we're going by what we see, what we hear. So yeah, I guess she could have come to her first before revealing that to Big Mouth Craig, but she didn't. And she shouldn't apologize for it. Period. Either way. Period.
Yeah, it's not her friend. I think if it were Kathryn instead of Madison, I feel like Danny would have gone straight to Kathryn.
Right.
But that's not her friend.
No, but I mean, they're in the same group though, right?
Now they're in the same group.
Right. But Craig has been her friend for the last few years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. One thing that she said though was like, I knew better than to tell Craig. It's like, okay, now you're digging yourself up even more. She should have just been like, hey, this wasn't me.
For an excuse for why it got out, but in reality, she shouldn't have to. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't think she should have to make an excuse for it. Danny, you live your best life, okay?
Absolutely.
We got your back, girl.
Yeah, I don't think she should actually, like you mentioned. But then at the same time, I feel like Madison holds back a lot. And I feel like Madison has this whole persona that she wants to fit in and she wants to feel like she's part of the girls group. So at one point, I feel like that's why she tells Chelsea what she does. But then on the other hand, it's like, here comes the shady side.
I don't know, because I feel like if you watch the interaction between Madison and Patricia, she looks very comfortable around her.
Well, because they've worked together for so many years.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like she's making herself like really comfortable. You know what I mean? Like too comfortable. Like
she's just doing all this to be part of the show.
I don't know. I don't know if I can't say that. But I just feel like she's...
it.
I did. But I don't know. It just seemed weird. I didn't like that. She kind of was on her high horse. Like, be a little humble. It happened. You did what you did. Whatever. Like,
Right.
Let's say she didn't do it. Her hairstylist did it. It happened. Like, why should you be upset about it? You know? Go call Danny like a big girl and be like, Danny, yo, this is what's going on. This is causing problems for me and Austen. Here's Austen. He's on the line, too. Hi. Madison. Yeah. Let's do a three-way here, Madison, don't do a three-way with Austen. No, but honestly, on the phone.
Okay, girl.
Yeah, I didn't like any of that. It just seemed really wonky. And I feel like Danny looked really, I don't know, meek. I didn't like that.
Yeah. What do you think, Susie?
Well, two things. One, I agree that maybe she felt empowered or emboldened because she was at Patricia's house.
Right.
And if it were... in a cafe or coffee shop, then maybe she would have handled it differently, and maybe Danny would have handled it differently. However, I'm not sure about that, because my other thing is, remember when this all came out and Danny was on the phone and she said, well, do I have to say it to Austen? She didn't want to say it to Austen. She wanted she wanted to just put the information out there and to walk away. She didn't want to be a part of it. So she knew then that this was going to come back and haunt her.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's actually a very interesting point, because then when it gets time to the reunion, I feel like they could look back and see that, and then it's going to be this whole big thing. Well, it always builds up to something bigger.
Is that your prediction, girl?
Maybe. So let's jump into this whole conversation between Danny and Kathryn. Super chill conversation. Both of them were so open to hear each other out. I loved how Kathryn took accountability and how she was like, you know what? You're right, but let me tell you what hurt me. And it was about time that she did this. And we found out, you know, that they both were able to make up. That was really exciting, and that they both have each other's back. We love that, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But then going back to before Kathryn got there, we got to see her ex-boyfriend, because when she walked in, she said, I'm no longer with the senator, right? We got to see her boyfriend's little wee-wee and doing
his
everything. His Ken doll.
His bulge.
Bulging. Yeah, just to talk about this really quickly, it was hilarious to have this conversation with Patricia in the room. The moment she put on her glasses, I'm like, oh, this lady is serious business. She really wants to zoom in.
I noticed Patricia is absolutely one of the girls. Like, forget how old she is, forget how polished she is, her etiquette, her class, you know, all of her, all of her accolades. She's absolutely one of the girls.
She is.
She's more loose this season.
Yes.
You know, I feel like she could just go around with a little weed in her. You know,
right.
I
feel like what we see on this show is not even a snippet of who she truly is. I'm sure she has. If walls could talk, I would love to be a fly on the wall in all the parties that she's ever been to throughout the entire world. Mm-hmm. I mean, could you imagine?
Yeah.
She's not as stiff as people think she is.
Right. Then we get into the dinner, and then we see Cameran, Madison, and everyone, and there's still this talk of Madison. I feel like this whole dinner that was set up was just to clear Madison's name, and then for her to come out feeling a little bit vindicated.
Right. And she agreed to have the dinner when she had her sit down with Madison in the first place.
Right. Which was interesting. And then they started talking about Shep and his feelings towards women in general, his feelings towards Madison, the words that he would say to express himself about her. And then we come to find out that Madison declined Shep.
Some two girls.
Let me repeat this. Madison declined Shep when she was married. When she was still married, which is an interesting topic because, yes, definitely a pig. It's an interesting topic because we've always wondered, well, what... Did Shep ever Did Shep ever do anything? When do we think that this actually happened?
It could have been any time. Because I don't know if you, like, over the years, they always talk about how every girl in Charleston, he has to go outside of Charleston to date because he's dated, like, every girl in Charleston. So she's one of the few.
Mm-hmm. Well, how long has she been married, or divorced, I should say, because this is when she was married.
Right.
So it happened during that time span. Yeah. I knew he was vindictive towards her for a reason, right?
Of course, yes. And instead of her seeking him out, like, okay, so I'm single now, she ended up dating Austen. So there you are, that Shep Austen thing again. There's always a competition between the two of them.
So we know why Shep is upset, but then why is Craig so emotionally invested in this too?
Because he's thinking it as him and Naomi. Like, it's...
So he's portraying his own feelings.
He's projecting. He's projecting,
the overall breakup, not the circumstances.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's projecting. He doesn't want to be alone in this. He wants to feel like he has his dude with him. You know, like, I'm going through a breakup, man. You know, you be my dude. We'll go out together. We'll go find some chicks. Yeah. He can't do that.
Do you think this is because
he's still hung up on Madison?
Yeah. Do you think this is because Craig didn't have anyone that he can lean on?
Yeah.
He couldn't lean on Shep. Are you kidding me? No. He couldn't lean on Austen either. No. He was doing his own thing.
No. And Craig and Naomi they kept doing the go backs for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I think all of the things that he learned from his breakup, he's trying to implement into Austen's breakup, and you can't do that.
He's trying to be like Dr. Phil, but Dr. Craig.
Dr. Craig, write a book. Do you know what I mean? Start a blog. Vent. That's your outlet for you to vent and for you to get over things. But hopefully he's at a better place now. This was filmed a while back, so who knows about that.
Mm-hmm. He looked like an angry father, though. Can I just say, I wrote down angry father, Craig's face. Like, he looked so upset.
Angry father.
So upset.
Then the night ends and we jump into this meetup between Craig, Kathryn, and Austen. Kathryn looked stunning.
Always.
Yes. And so Kathryn, the conversation of Kathryn and Whitney comes up. Whitney denying the fact. He didn't necessarily say no. He just kind of gave this...
Oh, hello. He's like a lawyer. He's not going to say anything. He's not going to confirm nor deny.
Right. He implied that they didn't sleep together. This is terrible dig at Kathryn. It makes me feel so bad for her that she's having all of these bad experiences with men, and then on top of that, she's getting denied.
Well, sorry, excuse me. I was going to say she's learning life lessons right now.
Right.
I mean, you think about it, she's still really young.
She's tired of learning life lessons.
Yes, but she's still really young, and now she's learning that if someone asks you to keep a secret,
Right. That's what I was about to say, girl.
Did Whitney
Tell
say
him.
Yes, she said he told her not to tell anyone.
Oh, please.
So if someone asks you to keep a secret,
Right.
it's not a good relationship.
See, that's what I was just about to say. And also, not
You can
only
tell your
that,
girlfriends. No?
but come on, not this group. And not only that, but she is younger than everybody in the group. So they're literally watching her stumble and fall. But at some point in their lives, I'm sure they all had the same problems at some point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, but I mean, you don't spill the tea.
Yeah, and then Kathryn called Shep two-faced, right? Because she didn't like the fact how Shep, during the pillow party, how he referred to her and all of these things that he was saying.
It's like degrading.
It's very bad. I feel, it's just one thing after another. It's just adding up, and it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, Susie's going to bring up something about that in the news later.
And one more thing, too, about the whole Kathryn sleeping with the guys in the group. She has to stop. And I'm sure she knows that by now. She's in her relationship. But even if something happens and she ends up out of that relationship, she needs to stop sleeping with the guys in that group.
Unless she's going to commit, like with Craig.
Or with Whitney.
Well, now I don't even know if she's still with her boyfriend, Hunter, because they haven't posted anything together in a while. So
Maybe she's learned a
that's
lesson,
just me.
though.
Maybe. So then Austen says that the whole situation with Madison comes up again, and Craig is disappointed that Austen hung out, slept, whatever they did, hooked up, with his ex-boo Madison.
Well,
We knew this was gonna happen. But then Austen says that he's disappointed that he let the guys get into his head about Madison.
yes.
This is why you just don't get in the middle of
No,
relationships.
You don't. You know?
Okay, to quote the great Steve Harvey.
Okay. I love Steve.
Oh, we should go watch him.
He said
Preach.
relationship should be a two-handed circle, and no one else is in that two-handed circle.
Right.
So obviously, the fact that Madison opened up the circle and allowed her friend to send the picture or whatever. But you know what? If someone did that to you, do you really have control over that? So, like, if I were the nasty kind of person, or I don't know what her intentions were, but if I took a picture and I was like, oh, yeah, my friend wants to meet you, and you had nothing to do with it and didn't know anything about it, and your relationship broke up over it.
But Madison knew that it happened.
She knew.
She knew.
She knew.
So if I were to know, then yes, I'm adding a little flame and I'm letting go of a little few fingers go out of that circle to let somebody, I'm reaching out for somebody else to get involved.
Yes.
Right.
And then Austen, on the other hand, he's reaching out too. He's reaching out for 3 other people. Come on in, 2 other people.
The circle was broken.
The circle was broken.
Yeah.
So
See?
they've all messed up.
Well,
and
here's
they've
the-
involved everybody.
Right. And here's the thing, though, too. Like, once you do something like Austen did, there's no coming back from that. I'm sorry. She's going to make him pay the entire time.
And she probably wanted to.
I cannot wait to watch.
With that said,
Evil.
with that evil laugh, let's jump into our not so charming. Crystal, you want to take it away?
Yes. This is our not so charming moment.
Hey, girl.
There we go. In this segment, what we do is we share our not so charming moments of this episode. It could be anybody or anything that you pointed out. So why don't you go ahead, Susie?
I'll just say the quote and you guys can tell me who said it.
Oh, that's a good game.
It says, "So, are you over her?" "No, that's why we're here on this trip." It was Austen. That was my not so charming. Like if you're talking to a girl, like, sidled up at the bar, cuddled up.
Oh, yes.
Trying to,
I
get to
remember
know
that.
her, get her attention, you're drinking.
Yeah.
You don't talk about your ex-girlfriend. Definitely not so charming.
That's a huge
I
red
agree.
flag.
I agree. And that's so funny you say that because as I watched that, I was like, ew, I would never want to talk to you after you said that. Like, ugh, get out of here. But maybe he was hoping for a little,
Sympathy.
maybe some sex.
He wanted a hug.
No, he wanted to hug her, you know what. Anyways, what about you?
My not so charming is definitely Shep getting in the way of Austen and chatting it up with other women. And him saying, "You guys want to come back to my room? It's really great. I have the
Like
best
being at
room."
a playground, right?
Yes. you guys want to come play with my toys? It's just the worst thing, and it was my not so charming. It's like, Shep, fend for yourself. Go do your own thing.
Right.
Don't try to come and ruin somebody else's game.
Right, exactly.
I'd cut you off. I'd be like, this is the last time we're going out with you.
Right, exactly.
I'd sneak it to my friends and be like, okay, bye.
I have to say the not so charming moment that I chose was all of the guys on the trip, except for Austen. Well, you know, he's a part of it too, but not in this moment. Is the fact that they took him out there and they were supposed to be there to help him get over Madison and support him, and they literally did nothing but complain and argue and not give him any kind of support at all. Those are awful friends. I'm sorry. Shame on you guys.
Amen to that.
Amen.
With that, let's jump into our top 3 digs of the night.
All right. So our top 3 digs of the night were Pat saying to Kat, ooh, I like that.
I like that.
It rhymes. At least I'd have another grandchild, basically. Right? The second one is Craig Craig talking about Kat to Whitney at the dinner table. I thought that was not too great. And then also, of course, the biggest one, which is Shep saying that Madison was white trash, and that's just uncalled for.
And standing by it.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, and we have some stuff to talk about that too, right? Susie, you want to take that away for our news?
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, on Bravo.com, there's a video clip. You should watch it. It's very good. And it shows, it's titled, Cameran Thinks Shep Could Use Anger Management. But really, the whole segment is all the ways that Shep has insulted people. And they specifically talk about the white trash insult. They all, 1, say what they think it means. And then 2, they all admonish him for saying it. Everyone except Craig, who tries to have Shep's back. And he tries to say that, you know, Madison came in and started destroying the group and it affected all of their friendships. So that's why they're all so angry at her. However, even Miss Patricia was like, you know what? That's not something that we like to say. You know, it's the nastiest thing that you can say to someone. So it's really good. Only like a 2-3 minute clip. You should see it.
It is. It's very interesting, and the ladies look so ravishing.
Oh, they're so cute.
Their dresses are cute. Their it's just the ladies are winning this season, definitely with their fashion. Thank you so much for sharing, both of you. Let's jump into our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Alrighty, ladies. Who has a prediction that they... Okay.
Madison is going to be another topic of conversation next episode. Like, seriously, for Madison not to be one of the cast members, we have said her name more than we've said anyone else's name.
Right.
And it's going to continue.
Okay, I guess my prediction would be... God, I don't know. Pat will find a bonnet that fits her dog.
Oh, that was so...
Mine is that we're going to get to see more dick pics. No, I'm kidding.
Ooh, girl.
Maybe, but I do think that...
I think Matt would be very happy about that.
Totally. And I think going into Cameron's birthday bash next week, I think the drama is going to get pretty intense, but I have a feeling that Kathryn's probably going to end up leaving early because someone's going to try to attack her again.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus she doesn't drink, so sometimes it's hard for you to
I saw her face when they were taking shots. She wasn't too happy.
Yeah. Well, you're young and you can't have that ability.
Partake.
Yes.
I know.
So sad. But we are always thrilled for you all and for you joining us tonight. That is our show. Susie, do you want to let everybody know where they can find you?
Absolutely. Susan Pinckney. Find me on Twitter and Instagram, SUZQ90210.
And I'm Cristal McLaughlin. You can find me on all social media at Cristal823. That's with an I, not with a Y. I can't wait till next week.
Hey everyone, my name is Mayte Carrillo. You can find me everywhere at This Is Mayte. Matt, you are missed tonight. Yes. We hope you join. We hope Matt joins us. Yes. And all of you join us next week. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.